Poised for Exit is a show for business owners who want to achieve a successful exit based on their own terms. Your business exit will likely be the biggest financial transaction of your life, and for most, you'll have one shot at doing it right. The topics and guests we feature and the stories they share will provide valuable ideas and strategies to improve operations and grow enterprise value so you can achieve the best possible exit outcome. Now here's your host, award-winning certified exit planning advisor, Julie Keys.
Welcome, everyone, to Poised for Exit, the exit planning podcast show. In this episode, we've got a mother and daughter team in the studio to talk about their family business succession planning. This is going to prove to be a great interview for family business owners, so please stay with us. Are you a business owner getting ready to transition? If so, I recommend True North Mergers and Acquisitions as your confidential strategic partner. They understand your business sale isn't just about one buyer and the price, but what you net that counts. In other words, what you get to keep. When you're ready for a higher level of representation that delivers consistent results, contact True North M&A to do the heavy lifting of selling your business. Learn more at tnma.com. That's tnma.com.
Selling your business may be the furthest thing from your mind, but that doesn't mean you should wait to plan. At TrustPoint, we understand the nuances that come with selling a business and are here to guide you. From unlocking tax efficiencies to minimizing risk, we'll develop the strategies to ensure you're prepared. So, when the time arrives, you'll be ready to enjoy the best years of your life. Learn more at TrustPointInc.com. That's TrustPointinc.com.
For business owners, it can be overwhelming to start planning a transition or exit strategy, but it's so important to avoid unwanted outcomes and unexpected tax bills. The CPAs at JAK, John A. Knutson and Company, can guide you and help make sense of the numbers. Our firm was established over 90 years ago, and we've assisted countless companies with ownership transitions. Leaving your business is a process that takes time. So contact us today to discuss your situation. Visit our website at jakcpa.com. That's jakcpa.com.
Listeners, my name is Todd Crow, and I'm the president of the Twin Cities Exit Planning Chapter. If you're a business owner and advisor and want to learn more about the world of exit planning, you're invited to visit the Twin Cities chapter of the Exit Planning Institute. You can expect top-level education delivered by subject matter experts at every monthly meeting. Grow your network and draw from the learning that could be a game changer for your business or your practice. There's no pressure to become a member, so come and see what the buzz is all about. Our meetings are held the second Wednesday of the month, 7:30 to 9 a.m. See the show notes for more information and registration links.
Hello, Poised for Exit listeners. We are here today with the CEO of JTeleconnections, Jody Weinberg, and her daughter, Paige Weinberg. Ladies, welcome to Poised for Exit.
Thanks for having us.
So happy to have you here. I have to say that in the almost 5 years since we've run this show, we have never had a mother, daughter, or any, as far as I know, or as far as I can remember, family business succession guests like this before. We've talked about family business, we've talked about succession, we've had leaders of family businesses on the show, but when it comes to first, second, third, fourth, whatever generation, this is a good thing. Like I said in the opener, I really think that this is going to be a good interview for privately held, family-owned businesses to listen to. So just kind of
well, thanks for thinking about it and
for sure.
bringing us on.
It's fun.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So before we dive in and start asking all the really deep, questions that are going to make you really think, how did you get started? Like, how did this whole story start? Because I know, Jody, you've been doing this for quite a while.
Yeah, quite a while.
And we should tell everybody too, what does JTel, aka JTeleconnections, actually do for its clients?
Yeah, well, we'll let Paige do that. But how I got started was Paige was a baby 34 years ago, and it's a long story, but it was a lucky break. The family's insurance agent was at our place actually doing my late husband's life insurance when the night I went into labor, and that wasn't planned, obviously.
Wow.
I asked her if there was something I could do when the baby was born and I was ready, and she said, yeah. So Paige was about 3 months old, and she started, making noise. And so I called Cheryl and said, okay, I'm ready. So it was back then. It was 10 hours a week, and I worked with recipe box and recipe cards.
Oh, sure.
And I started out doing commercial insurance, but I called Cheryl and I said, "What do you want me to do?" And she said, "I want you to set me appointments." And I said, "You want me to what?" And my father always taught me that you act as if, because nobody will know the difference. So I said, "Sure, no problem." Now, my background is credit collections and public speaking. So Cheryl's known me since I was a little girl, so obviously thought I would be good at this.
Yeah, for sure.
She came over, we tore a couple pages out of the yellow pages, and I literally dialed the phone and set her appointments.
Wow.
Yeah.
From the basement.
Actually, I started with the kitchen table.
Oh, okay. And then
We were
moved
in
her
the-
way down.
We were in the apartment
Yeah.
at that point.
Okay, yeah.
Wow. That's the hardest part of professional service work is getting the appointment.
Yeah. Well,
And making
yeah,
sure it
I mean,
sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, if you're wired though for it, and which we are, you know, and have the skill, the
Right.
wiring and the skill set, then
That's what I
like
mean.
for us, it's not hard, but for
Yeah.
yes,
For a lot
for
of
your
people it
average
is.
salesperson, it is hard, which we'll get into more. But the value proposition,
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So, and that was in what year did you start?
1990.
Okay. Not like we're trying to get people to do the math or anything,
Yeah.
but
Then,
yeah.
then they'll know how old I am.
let's just say you know what you're doing.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
10 years later, so I worked for a couple of Cheryl and another. Then I went on to a bigger insurance broker, and then they got bought out 7 years after I was there, and their books weren't looking too good, so they shut down me, Iowa, and Denver, and that's when I went on my own, which was the year 2000.
And it was kind of forced on you, but you know that's sometimes that's a blessing in disguise, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And here you are 24 years later.
Yeah, well, in March I'll be 25. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's coming up.
So, Paige, tell us more about what does JTel do?
So we are really known for setting very high level sales appointments that are qualified with hard to reach decision makers. But the reality is we're really professional prospectors. So our clients, which are all pretty much in professional services, and not just anyone, but those who what we have is called a strong DV, which is a differentiating value. How do you stand out? Why are you different? Hire us to build their pipelines, find the decision maker, pitch them, schedule a meeting actually on their calendar, which is technically our boss, and ask 2 to 3 questions to qualify it to make sure we're not wasting their time and they're not wasting ours, right?
Sure.
So we're really wired to open, and our clients are really the experts. We don't want to be the expert.
Sure.
And their expert is to close the sale. So we open, they close it, which is, what we hope works. And if that works well, they're with us forever, honestly.
Yeah, and these are professional services people that work with you, and you're really taking a lot of load off their plate, that's for sure.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So they can use their time for higher level things, which obviously everybody wants to do that. Who's a typical client then?
Well, so we work with, like I said, some of our biggest are med tech, med device,
sure.
technology, manufacturing.
Okay, that helps. Just industry.
Yeah, industry wise. But I mean, CEOs, decision makers, CEOs, VPs, high level. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So not your average run-of-the-mill person who is trying to sell shoes.
Right. Or roofing and
That was a
siding.
really bad example,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Just like something. And again, if you're different, why do you stand out?
Right.
You're most likely going to win with us.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Interesting. So let's talk about success stories.
Okay. Let me think.
I'm sure you have lots of them.
We have a couple. I mean, just a few.
I know you can't identify the,
Yeah.
the
That's
client
okay.
name or anything like that, but I think that it's good for our listeners to know. Once we kind of get through this and we talk a little bit about how you guys have made your clients succeed and helped your clients succeed, I really want to, go into the next thing and talk more about your family succession.
Yeah. So one we really like to talk about is one of our longest standing clients, 13 years now. They do on-site injury prevention. He started at a minimum of 20 to 22 hours a week with us and is now at approximately 500 hours per month. He sees a 13-to-1 ROI year over year with us.
Wow.
Another one, we love them. We're very grateful for them. Another one is they do office furniture solutions. And I'd say they've probably been with us, almost 4 years now. And they've they've doubled their ROI in 4 years with us. So we call into really anyone they want us to. For them, schools, the cities, literally any corporate
New
business.
construction.
Yeah, that does like anything, purchasing, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, and they're local. We do, all over, but they're actually they're both local, I guess, these two. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. For our listeners, we're in the Twin Cities as we record this show. So when we say local, that's what we're referring
Yeah.
to. Yeah. Very interesting. So let's shift gears, like I said before. And that's just to back up for 1 second. That's like that's an amazing ROI, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
But they're great closers.
I was just going to say,
Sure.
if you're a good closer, we'll get you in the right doors.
sure.
You know?
You just, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Note to the people out there who are thinking, oh my gosh, they're going to do my work for me. Well, some of it, right? But
We'll make sure it's with the decision maker, and we'll make sure, it's
that
what you
is
want.
everything.
But then it's off to you.
Yeah.
What our listeners should understand, which is something I actually learned in about 3 or 4 years, because I just thought it was all about a gift to gab. Or I used to tell people, they'd say in the insurance world, they'd say, "What do you do right? These guys know who I am." In those days, people walked through the doors.
Yes.
But what I learned by working with a consultant is there's a very different value proposition to a professional prospector than there is to the salesperson. And ours very quickly is we are wired to perform on our feet in 2 to 3 minutes and do all the things Paige just said. Pitch, confirm they're the decision maker, get the meeting, qualify it, get off the phone. Because we're interrupting them. They don't have time. If they're going to set a meeting, then they're going to give 30, 45 minutes to the client, our boss. And their value prop skill set and wiring is about being the expert doing the solution complex sell with intelligence. That's not who we are. We just know enough to get them in the door and qualify it.
Right. And it's way beyond telemarketing.
Yeah, I was
way
going to mention
beyond.
that.
Way
yeah.
beyond.
Yeah. You guys are like a right-hand person.
Basically an assistant. Yeah. Exactly.
For sure. For
Or
sure.
fractional marketing.
Right.
Yeah.
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 That's awesome. Yeah. Very cool. Is it always a phone call or is sometimes email involved? Just wondering about process. a
No,
little
we
bit.
have email
Both.
marketing. We actually acquired a company last year.
Good for you. Congratulations.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
That's called Buzz Builder, and it's email marketing. And without going into a lot of details, basically the way that our COO and partner Travis creates them, sends them, batches them, etc. By about month 3, we're at about a 30% open rate. That's his goal, and 99.9% of the time we are there. So when we see high opens multiple times, we don't just let it go. We actually get on the phone a couple
Great.
hours a week and follow up on those.
That is a rule of thumb. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to watch when people are actually clicking and opening for sure. Yeah. I love that. That's a really great approach. 'Cause you kind of got it multifaceted. So let's talk about your business succession. Paige, you've been with the company for how long now?
I think February is going to be 9 years.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lose count, but
Long enough to
it's
know what
about
you're
9
doing.
years. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yes.
And so tell us about how are you learning the things that, obviously your mother, Jody, has honed and learned over many years. How is she sharing her knowledge and wisdom with you? What's your process?
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if she's sharing it or if I'm learning from Travis. But
You're probably learning from both because I know who Travis is.
Yeah, Travis is our COO and partner, as my mom mentioned. He is great. But I think honestly, it just came very natural to me. My personality, is just a lot.
Sure.
It's very similar, but also very different from my mom's. But I also grew up with it. So I think even when I wasn't listening, I was listening, right? So she was, when I got older, I don't even know what age I was, but she had an office in our basement. So we always had nannies upstairs with us, but she was always working. So I don't know, probably throughout the process without, honestly, I don't really clearly remember, but I always heard it. So when the time came and I did, come to work at JTel, I think I didn't want to be on the phones right away, but that wasn't really a choice. So if I wanted to be here, I had to do everything. And I succeed very, very well at it. So it's just natural. Yeah.
So you know the technical side of the business really well. What about the managerial and business side of it? How are you acclimating yourself to that?
I actually really enjoy like leading and teaching. And because I'm one of the top sales leaders. Yeah. It's so funny. I actually dial from my cell phone. Travis always tells all our callers and marketers because everyone usually has it on their computer and is just like one click. And I have it on my cell and I use an app, but I am still the fastest dialer on the team. So it's really funny. But I don't know. It's just like I said, I think it just comes very natural. I mean, at the start, I didn't love like getting, you have to be pretty like tough, have a backbone to do this, to like not know who you're going to reach on the phone, what kind of feedback you're going to get, what you're going to have to say back. But over time, it's just like, oh my gosh, Mom, or oh my gosh, Travis, listen to what this person just said to me. It's just, you have to just make fun of it.
Well, plus, you've got not only that hat that you're wearing, but you're also learning how to be able to manage and lead the business. So let's talk about how are you taking charge yourself? How is kind of Jody delegating to you, and how have you guys worked that out?
Yeah, well, so I started when I first started, I was really all admin for a couple of years, and I really enjoy operations and admin a lot. And then eventually, Travis and Jody, my mom, was like, you need to get on the phones, and I was like, oh no, I don't want to do that. No way. And they're like, oh no, if you're gonna work here, like you need to know how to do everything. So it's not really a choice. I wasn't super happy, but I did it. And then obviously I realized when I got my feet wet, I was decent at it and I could do it. But I've done a little bit of everything here and there. And then as time gone on and realized that I am going to take over and whatever, having Travis has been a huge help. Him and I work absolutely perfectly together. And
he's kind of he's not at the helm, but he's your operations person. And you need to have, if you're going to be a good leader, you need to have a good operations person. Oh yeah,
he's amazing. Yeah,
and I'm going to interrupt because on the business side, she's so she started as admin and then became a good caller. And then so she's networking. Yeah. Which she wasn't very comfortable about years ago. So she's really gotten good with that. And
it's good. It takes a while to figure that out.
Yeah, made colleagues and contacts and starting to, because they said the business isn't going to come to you because you're my daughter. I mean, you got to create a name for yourself like I have. And she is starting to write up summaries and agreements. And this year we're going to really.
This is sales year, basically.
Yeah, sales year. I mean, her skill set is sales. So.
And that's kind of one of the last things I have to really learn.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Because Travis is handling all the other things your finance and
the infrastructure.
IT
I do finance with him as well.
Sure.
Him and I are in charge of finance now, but my mom kind of passed that on to us. But it's gone well. Yeah.
And you're making a lot of the decisions that Jody would have normally made?
Not yet.
Or trying to?
I'm trying to.
Yeah. I know this is kind of early, but I mean, you've been there 9 years.
I'd like to.
Right?
Yes.
It doesn't happen overnight. I think this is important for me to remind listeners of, whether you're an advisor or whether you're a business owner, family or not, right? If you're bringing somebody up and they're going to become a successor of yours, it takes time and you have to have a plan and you have to decide, okay, here's what I know I'm really good at. And here are the things that I still feel like I'm not clear on, or that I actually don't know how to do. But I know that when whoever it is that's passing the baton to me leaves, that I need to know those things. Right. So there's all of those need to knows, right? That we maybe didn't need to know before, but now we do. And we're talking about a small business.
Yeah. And it's also, but it's even kind of like her
medium,
baby.
Yeah, of course it is.
So it's
right.
I'd like to take more under my wing, but then, and she, I know she wants me to, but she also has this thing where she's like, yeah, I want you to do that, but then she still does it. And I'm like, but I want to. And she's like, no, but I'm doing it right now. And I'm like, okay, well, that's family, right? It's it's her baby too. It's her first, well, It's your second baby. I'm your first. And then the business and then my sister.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it. And there's risk involved in that too, right? So we have to understand, like, just from a logistic standpoint, that there's risk in doing that. And there are many entrepreneurs out there who have no desire to be done completely. Like they want to, they want to go with their boots on. Nothing wrong with that.
No, right. I agree. Yeah.
When but to have some of the pressure off, have some freedom, have to be able, time to be able to do some things.
Yeah.
I think that's very appealing to many entrepreneurs, right, Jody?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's a struggle. I mean, I don't know that I'm ever going to be completely out, but
right.
I'm definitely farther out than I've ever been. I mean, I'm able to take some afternoons off now and actually take a vacation. I mean, we used to go to Mexico and I literally would say, okay, I have to make this call, and I'd sit in the hallway of the hotel back in the days where cell service was not great.
Sure.
And I'd make phone calls.
Or we would go to Country Thunder. That was my thing. I love country music. And we would literally be on a road trip to Twin Lakes, Wisconsin. It's 6.5 hours. And I had to drive half the time because she had paper and pens and her dials, and she would dial in the car. Yeah, when I drove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's look into the future. Obviously, the two of you have worked together quite a while. Jody's still in the game, very much so. And together with your leadership team, I'm sure that you are looking forward to this new year and what that all entails. Because you told me before the show started that 24 was a great year and that you've got a lot of stuff going on in 25. So let's just talk about where are we headed.
Well, in terms of growth, we're at about 30% year over year. So
wow.
yeah,
That's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. So we plan to hold at that. Well, I mean, 30% is high, I know. So getting any higher, I'm not sure. Along with the old-fashioned cold calling, we're incorporating the email marketing with the new company. And AI is huge. Travis has configured AI for prospecting, finding the right decision makers, processes, to pre-qualify.
Sure.
So he's probably going to create some kind of a bot on our website that will ask the pre-qualifying questions before it goes on to a caller.
That's amazing. And I'm really glad to hear that you're going to be implementing AI, or that you already have, because so many businesses haven't yet. And I don't think that it's in anybody's best interest who owns a business to not implement AI in some fashion.
I mean, it's literally taking over.
It is.
Yeah.
It's so much different now than it was 6 months ago.
Right? Yeah.
Right?
It really is.
We just have got to keep our hands on that
crazy.
pulse of it and find use cases and just get going.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to replace people,
No.
but it's
it makes
going
us
to
better.
take a lot.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot of the administrative work out of it.
Totally.
And
Higher level things is what you'll be up to, right?
Yeah,
For
sure.
Right. And saving tons of time.
Which is lovely.
And expenses, costs.
Right. Exactly. Because when we save time, we save money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, that's awesome. So I know that you had said before the show started that you've got something special that you're promoting. And so let's just talk about that before we wrap up.
Yeah, so we are actually offering, if someone signs up, and here's this, by February 15th, so a little over a month, we're going to discount the agency setup fee by 30%.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And what's the best way for people to get a hold of you? You want your website, your phone number?
Yeah, they can go to meetings, meetingsyou, want.com.
Meetingsyouwant.com.
Just as it sounds, yep.
I love that. Meetings you want. That's a great domain.
Yeah.
Or you can email us either
First name
Jody or Paige, Jody, or Paige, Paige, at meetingsyouwant.com.
Meetings you want. Perfect. All right, listeners, meetingsyouwant.com. And thanks for joining us. Thank you, Jody. Thank you, Paige, for being
Thank
here.
you
telling
so,
us
so
your story.
much.
Thanks, Julie.
Looking forward to kind of hearing how this evolves over the next several years,
Yeah.
because I'm sure it'll be really exciting. And for our listeners, thank you for joining us, and please come back next time.